What's up and good afternoon, guys. Welcome back to another video. I think this is the first video we are filming since we've really been back from SEMA. Let me tell you guys, it is a wild week or two leading up to SEMA, wild week at SEMA, and then we just have like this come down. As much as you hated going and you hated how chaotic it was and how crazy it was, you definitely do get like a little depressed that like all of this crazy chaos was going on and then just like poof, it's gone. However, we've got a special treat today and I'm very, very excited for this video. I have been following these guys for a long time. These trucks are freaking impressive. They were at SEMA. However, if you guys have been to SEMA, you'll know that like it's very overwhelming. You can have the coolest of the coolest, whatever it may be. I mean, there's $2 million cars sitting in booths that people walk right on by because there's just so much stuff to look at. You miss a lot of really cool stuff. These trucks, I did not want to film at SEMA because they are so cool. I did not want details missed. I didn't want anything missed about them. So instead of filming them there, we're gonna be filming them today at the shop. I mean, it helps that they were willing to bring them to the shop for this. I'm beyond freaking excited for these. These things are gnarly. They've been all over the internet. Oh guys, I see them coming down the street. It's a hell of a load there, brother. Jesus. Feel free to double park anywhere right here to unload. How tall are you right here?
Legal height.
It looks like it, yeah. I was just gonna say, you guys just squeaked by right there.
I cleared a bridge at 13.8. That's my best speed so far.
Woo. I'd still be clenching.
We're all holding our breath. Like
yeah, I would still be clenching from that. It's a whole different ballgame seeing both these on the same trailer.
right?
These things have literally been on the street for like 34 seconds. We've almost had like 3 accidents. Everybody's walked over.
If there's one thing this does, watch. Now when we hit the drive-through.
Insane, bro. Absolutely insane.
Oh, these are your trucks?
Yeah.
Oh, person trucks. I got you.
Yep.
Bro, you got the whole office building over there out too. Coming from Vegas, taking them on tour. Man, he's got the finest of ramps here.
The ramp is more for aesthetics. We don't actually need them at all.
Fair.
It does make it a little bit better. I mean, we're gonna start a GoFundMe. So everybody go buy merch right now, whatever the link is in the description.
There you go, all right.
And we're gonna do a GoFundMe so that way he can get both of these, or at least the black one, because the white one is technically sold.
Can we talk about that or no? Is that hush hush?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll talk about that once we get it offloaded, who the white truck got sold to.
It might have been him.
My wall has been feeling a little lighter lately.
Annie, hold up.
Look at that. Drives like nothing, huh?
Cadillac, baby.
There you go.
You're gonna drive one now?
All right, truck number 1 is off. Here comes truck number 2. Feel like we're killing like 3 birds with 1 stone on the channel right now. We've never had 6x6s featured on the channel. We've never seen a lifted, completed, one of the new medium duty Chevy trucks, which is what I was looking at when these things first came out way back in the day.
Reason we got one.
Is that the reason you got one?
That one review you did, bro.
Nice. Oh, jeez. Hold on, we'll just set that right there. Oh, we're good. Oh, come on, man. You're supposed to lift me like that. Oh, jeez, we failed. We failed.
I never go in the back, so I don't know how the fuck.
Jeez.
He doesn't have the app on his phone, so just so you get the whole idea.
Yeah.
This is the logic. Take a look at it. You're gonna like it. That's what's controlling everything.
Look at that. Look at that. So, you guys have seen some pretty crude technology that leads to like the craziest thing. I'm sure the first iPhone looked something like that. But that's what's controlling this entire truck right now, is all screwed down to a piece of like
Plywood.
MDF, yeah. That's rad.
So here's the app. We're connected in Bluetooth. We'll put in steer. You'll see the location of everybody. And we'll go to normal mode. Your rears are perfectly straight.
So those are locked in and straight now.
All right, now we're ready to drive. Just for fun reasons, I guess, we'll come here. Now we'll put it in crab. Whatever the front's doing, the rears are gonna do the same exact thing.
Nice.
I hit lock, and this is what you see that we drive around kind of everywhere sideways.
Yeah.
So pretty smooth. You're driving sideways.
You can't even really tell we're in crab mode right now.
I can get it more aggressive.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
And here's the fun part. Hit normal. Back to straight.
Whoa. All right, now you feel it. You feel like you're on one of those rip sticks, like those single wheel little skateboard things.
Right.
What a trip.
You ever opened your refrigerator? Your food's always cold, right?
Right.
So you don't expect that it works great. You're like, damn, I have a great fridge. My food's always cold.
Right.
But that's kind of the same idea. This just kind of works.
So Manny has, I mean, like ground up, you've built everything that we're seeing here.
Aspect.
I mean, to the app, to the freaking circuit board, whatever the heck we got going on over there, way out of my pay grade. Like everything is you.
Yeah, that's us. I mean, I'll say Poppy's, but yeah.
Fair. Yeah, I left. Oh, sorry. Probably should have figured out directions. I mean, I would say that, but we can make U-turns. Well, we can. Your boy back there can't.
He's stuck, yeah.
Yeah, he's stuck in standard mode. So currently everything's controlled off the app, which if you don't have this in the truck, it's set on whatever setting you left it on, correct?
Correct.
So right now he's left in standard mode where the two rear drive axles are just locked straight. So he's gonna be making way wider turns than we are, running Manny's sweet setup here.
Yes.
So how do you like the 4500?
I like these trucks.
Do you?
I thought everything was much harder to do on this truck than on the Ram.
Okay.
Especially because this has push-pull steering, and the biggest feat was switching it over to crossover steering.
Gotcha.
You don't need to do that, but since we went on air ride, we have a lot more dampening on every like bump, you know, and when you have push-pull steering, you're never gonna have the geometry the same as what your pan hardboard is gonna be having, track bar or whatever.
Right.
So switching over to crossover steering, now having both arms the same length and at the same angle, like bump steer is no longer existent. But
gotcha.
other than that, you know, really happy with this truck, seeing as we've had a lot of like OEM issues with the Ram.
Just so you know, we're going to a very narrow parking lot. So your boy back there is gonna,
He'll have fun. He's been at it all weekend.
he might be hating life. He's also going sideways down the road.
Sideways. Yeah, we never got an alignment, so everything's eyeball racing alignment.
Okay, I like it.
It's just
So
not
this
it
is how we
right
align
now.
the truck. You take it to an alignment, you know, you go to the settings made, and this is, you set your true centers for an axle, middle
Okay.
axle, and that's your true points. We never went to the alignment shop, so we kind of like, oh, it looks straight, All right, cool, center, we're off to Vegas.
Gotcha. Hey,
So
fair enough.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah, I
when
don't know if you guys-
eyeball it, you'll see it now.
He's flipping you off out the window.
Yeah, he's sideways.
Yeah, he's pretty sideways.
I'll fix him.
He likes it.
Look how easy it is to turn into parking lots right there. So you guys just built the ultimate mall crawler.
This is the idea. This is the idea. You know,
I love it. I love it. You might want to park right. I mean, we ain't making it. We ain't making it height wise. I don't think.
You don't think so?
I don't know. What's your height?
I don't know. We can measure it with the stake though. Or you think
Oh,
they
it's
get
9
mad?
feet.
Would they get mad?
I don't think you're gonna make it.
Okay. You don't think we're gonna make it? Then let's
I
park.
mean,
Where's the
do
best
we
park?
have
Right here, Manny. We need some steps on this thing, guy.
It's missing one wire. The steps are there.
Oh, okay. Oh, yep. All right. We just built a whole spaceship in the back. God forbid we put one wire on the steps. It's crazy how big these trucks are. You guys got to see these things in person. How are you enjoying half crab mode?
We're a little sideways.
I mean, you know, usually full crab mode's kind of where it's at, but half crab is kind of how we're feeling today.
Hey, half crab worked. Half crab
crab
worked.
worked.
It's cool, huh? Yeah. Any of you guys out there want the most attention-getting trucks I have ever seen in my life? Should pick you guys up one of these bad boys. So they're working right now on getting it recalibrated. As you guys can see from the piece of plywood with all the circuits and stuff on it in the back, these are still a work in progress, and they're very, very on the cusp edge of having these things perfectly dialed in. But they've also been proven. He's got, I think each truck has 18,000 miles on them, and they've been 6x6s pretty much their entire life. They bought them, turned them straight into 6x6s. The only six-wheel drives you're gonna see that actually do shit.
Yeah.
Not the flashy ones you see on Instagram or YouTube or anything like that that do nothing. These will do everything.
I walked over here and I was like, what the? Yeah.
Oh yeah, these are the real deal. Yeah, Poppy's Garage. Check them out on Instagram, YouTube, OnlyFans, wherever. We got it all.
The belt buckles aren't even.
What's going on with the seatbelt?
The belt buckles aren't even put on.
We don't
bro.
believe in those or what?
believe in that
Jeez.
Why is that such a Cali thing to put on your seatbelt?
I mean, I guess in this thing, we're all right.
All right, so cool. Get the full effect here.
All right, all
Go to
right.
your window too. All right, so you'd have your phone, right?
Okay.
So we're gonna actually get approved with Apple CarPlay, so this will be on screens as well.
Oh, that's dope.
Obviously gonna have 3 regular buttons, like just for their 3 regular modes.
Right.
But I think it's very cool to be able to see live, like where your axles and stuff is happening.
All right.
Check it out. Right now you're in normal, so pull up a little bit. first. I want you to try to make a left like a regular truck.
Okay.
Because it does have a 450 gearbox that we had to like invert the center shaft. So I want you to see that the turning radius isn't even that terrible.
So it's technically a wide track axle.
Right.
Okay. Oh, dude, yeah, that's not bad.
Not bad.
No.
You're scrubbing the middle axle, obviously.
Right.
Because, you know, so technically the wheelbase on this is only 4 inches longer than what it would have came from factory.
Gotcha.
On an 84-inch cab axle.
But then you put an axle in between.
Right. And
Gotcha.
that's what makes you not turn as well, because you're sliding that tire.
Gotcha.
Right?
Okay.
So then here, let's try it with tight turn and see how much less you got to use your steering wheel. So now whatever you do in the front, the rears are going to do the opposite for you.
Dude, that's crazy.
Like it turns quick.
Yeah.
Now you'll start straightening out, and those will start straightening out. And then since you're actually rolling, we'll put you in normal, and it'll put you dead straight.
Dude, that feels super
Natural.
Yeah, that
Nothing's
feels natural.
going on.
Yeah.
Nothing's going on. That's what I'm saying. Like it's a lot less than it looks.
Right.
But since the trucks are so long and a lot of things are moving at the same time, then people can see what's going on.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Like if you, in a practical application, which is what we're trying to move, right?
Right.
It'll completely work the way it should. So.
Crab me down this road, Manny.
All right. So slow down, just because entering crab mode is a little dangerous.
All right.
Start going left, whichever direction you want to go.
Let's go this way.
Okay, cool.
We're taking up
Keep going,
the
keep
whole
going,
road.
keep
We're taking
going,
up the
keep
whole
going.
road.
Turn more. All right, stop it. Let me lock you. All right, cool. Now you're just gonna drive. Keep your ass end. Let me straighten you out because you're gonna be too close to the sidewalk and you're gonna curve.
We got a Mustang getting pissed off. Should I run him over, Manny?
You can do everything, man. I think I know why you should do that.
All right. There was nobody on the road when I said put me in crab mode. Now there's like 500 people on the road.
So we're going sideways.
Oh yeah.
You don't got that much of an angle. You got about 15, 16 degrees. But you can clearly see that you're taking up more.
We're still taking up 2 lanes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, this is sick.
Drive it. I mean, you can drive it just as regular. Your left turns have now improved. Your right turns have
Yeah, I was
worsened.
gonna say, right? Well, it's cool because you can walk it over. You
Yeah,
just
absolutely.
kick it left a little bit and it walks over. Now you're back centered up in the lane. All right, we got to go that way now.
That's perfect. That's perfect. So
So-
now don't even turn your front wheels. Like you'll end up pretty much keeping your steering wheel straight. The rear is gonna be
It's gonna
steering.
walk
you.
its way around. There you go.
You might need a little bit, obviously.
Yeah.
But you don't need much to make a left because the rears are turned to the right.
Well, now I want to stay away from the curb because we're gonna kick that way, right? And then we just go back to. Oh, dude, this is super
And go
like
ahead.
intuitive.
Yeah.
Yeah, there ain't nothing to it.
No. Now get some speed. That way you can really enjoy that little drift action. Here we're gonna go drifting now. So get some speed, get confidence here.
Right.
You ready for the big shemang?
Oh.
There you go.
Oh yeah. That's sick. I like that.
We can do it faster. It gets really wild after 30, 40. Like it's like whoa!
All right, so up here.
This is fun here. So you're gonna make a right here.
Yeah.
So creep up. This is perfect actually.
Okay.
So I'm gonna put you in tight turn mode and then I'm gonna lock you. Start going so that nobody comes. Hold it. Don't accelerate. Just turn more. All right. I'm gonna lock you. Now you're stuck. Now go ahead. Now you're crabbing technically. So watch how your ass is kicking to that median. Yeah. So turn right. You see how your ass is going? Turn right. There you go.
Oh yeah. All right, good. So everybody right here tries to cut everybody off. We're taking up both lanes.
That's it. No, that's not gonna happen anymore. Now you're just
Yeah.
gonna get some beeping
Now we're.
and some recording.
Look at these guys. I don't even know what the heck's going on.
Broken. So we got pulled over doing like 80 miles an hour like this.
Really?
Yeah.
Jeez.
We had to just say it was broken. If we would have admitted that this was on purpose, then we would have gotten
Right.
out.
No, I want to block both lanes right here because every son of a gun tries to go around and cut you off right here. Even though it says lane ends, everybody's like, oh, I'm gonna ride it out to the very end
And then cut in.
and cut in. You know what? You ain't cutting in when you're running a 6x6 crabbing down the road blocking both lanes.
If you want
Nah,
to start
you-
getting wonky with it, we can get wonky with it.
Oh yeah, let's do it right when we're going in the sun. We can't see shit. Kick it back to straight or we just park it like this?
You park like that?
Park it like this. How am I supposed to jump down with fries? Does Manny come and get us?
Yes.
Okay, this is
You
good.
first,
This is
though, you first.
Okay, now I'll let you go
Ladies
first.
first.
You go first. See, look at he knows, man. He's smart. He goes for you first. Fernando, what do you think, buddy? Oh yeah.
These beds off, we have flat beds we put on them. And then we could actually load rails on them. We could load side-by-sides on them. We've done it.
I'll give you guys $1,000 right now cash if we go to Glamis to go on Oldsmobile. Straight up.
Let's go right now.
Manny, give me an introduction, man. Who are you? What do you do? What are these monstrosities?
I'm Manny from Poppy's Garage in South Florida. We build these crazy crab walking 6x6s. I'm sure you've seen them at some point anywhere, either Instagram or YouTube or whatever the case might be.
They have blown up on the internet.
We're trying to show the world our rear steer technology and our air ride management system. We figured if we built some massively obnoxious trucks, everybody would finally pay attention to what's going on underneath the trucks.
So aside from number one, you wanted to build the best 6x6 because there's a lot of crappy 6x6s on the market. Like,
Right.
we've all seen those videos. Millionaires, billionaires pay some who knows what shop to slap another axle on a F-150 or Raptor or anything. And like, I guess that's enough flashy when you show up to your buddies because they don't have a 6-wheel drive something.
Definitely gets attention, but
they're not as functional as what I'm seeing here, right?
So we want to make something look as useless as possible, but still be as useful as possible.
I like it.
So you see this and you see a flashy suspension and you see 44-inch boggers and you think, wow, that guy never drives a truck. Wow, that guy never tows with the truck. Wow, that guy never runs over anything with the truck. You know, and that's exactly what we're trying to not do, I guess, which is do regular Ram 5500, 84-inch cab axle. Right off the bat, you'll notice our suspension system. You'll notice that everything is bolt-on because we make bolt-on lifts for all the pretty much new body style, new Rams and Fords. Bolt-on air ride. We do switch this axle over to the Super Duty axle.
So this is a 450 axle as well?
This is a 450 axle,
okay.
Correct.
So if you guys don't know, the 450s have the wide track axle, which has a better turning radius out of the box.
Correct. We use a 450 front axle for a couple reasons. Turning radius, number one. Number two, for ABS reasons. We like to keep the stock ABS system working just fine on this truck and on any other truck. We can work around these hubs pretty easily. And since the rear uses the same hubs, because these axles use Dana 60 outer hubs, we can mix and match what we need tone ring and sensor wise to match whatever engineering there is on the ABS on depending whatever truck it might be.
Well, speaking of engineering, who's the engineer behind this?
It's all us. Poppy's Garage does everything start to finish. We do all of the metal work, we do all of the machine work, we do all of the CNC plasmaing, all the CNC milling. We do everything down to building the electronics and the circuit board. We also build the app in our shop. You know, it's just constant research. We really believe, you know, whatever it is that you have, whether it's a cell phone, you know, something that you're really proud of, a product that you really love, that company usually has full control of everything, whether it's hardware, software, screen, you know, anything. And when you can control a product from the very beginning to the to the consumer, that's where you can develop, you know, and you can deliver to the consumer a turnkey product. Because, you know, you can slap together things and you're just gonna get that. You're gonna get something that's slapped together.
Right. Well, and that's what a lot of these 6x6s are, is there's some Frankenstein something. Problem with doing that is when you run into an issue. Correct. And say I buy something from you and you're in Florida, I'm in California, and I got an issue. I can't just roll it back to your shop and be like, hey, I need this warranty.
Yeah, absolutely. If you notice, this starts life as an 84-inch cab axle, so the wheelbase is barely changed. If you look at this one bolt hole here, that's where your bump stop would have been originally. So the wheelbase has only grown by 4 inches. Obviously, there's a whole other axle stuffed in front of it. The axle start life as a corporate 14-bolt center, very nice beefy center chunk. We do use 40 spline stuff. We use DOM tubing, 1/2-inch wall for the rest of it. So on top of that, we put our trusses anyway, so we can make sure that we can put any payload that we would want on these. And then the rest is Dana 60 stuff on the outers.
So again, I mean, going back to being the engineer doing everything in-house, I mean, this entire suspension setup that you're seeing, this is, I mean, obviously you can't just go get some off-the-shelf something for
right.
a 6-wheel drive vehicle, but everything cut, bent, welded, fabricated, fit up, everything machined in-house, right?
Everything done in-house. The only thing we obviously don't do is going to be that transfer case unit. We buy that from SCS. I'm sure your viewers and everybody knows who SCS is. Do have the capabilities of making that ourselves with our CNC, but that's been true and tested, and they've been around, you know, Craig's a great person, they've been around forever, and you know, it's a bulletproof system. There's one thing we didn't need to engineer, that's one less thing we didn't have to engineer.
One of the other things you might notice, obviously this is a pickup style bed converted over to 6-wheel.
We have a sheet metal shop. We do a lot of like classic car restoration, so we do full sheet metal work. This starts life as a regular dually bed chopped in half, and then we do all the sheet metal work. We'll get some good clips on the inside. You'll really appreciate all the metal work. All the metal work is also done at the shop. You know, it's dirty right now, but you'll see that the body line that goes here still exists. The same thing with this curve is still diving in as it would. You know, you'll notice that the bed that would have been friendlier to use would have been a mega cab. Mega cab dualies have like a quick hump that comes out. Right. We didn't want that. We wanted the arch to work its way out. So it starts, this is a long bed dually bed that we chopped and stretched.
Gotcha. Now you also have flatbeds that go on these. That's kind of how you started this, just to get them out the door basically.
Right. Flatbeds was a little bit quicker, although our flatbeds also had the body lines matching from here down the bottom. We just did the flatbeds because it was quicker to achieve, and it was also quicker. We didn't have to paint it, we just kind of rhino lined it, and we can get a heavy, you know, fifth wheel or a big tow, you know, a big payload, which is what we wanted to show off. We thought if we could tow something heavier, put a big payload and go sideways with it, everybody would look at us. So that's
and they did. It worked. I've seen some very expensive boats behind this thing.
Right, correct. So we're from South Florida, obviously. So boating is a huge thing over there. So we have a lot of friends with a lot of nice, big, long boats. And that's where the rear steer really shines. When you're backing up a trailer and you have rear steer, it's almost like if you're backing up a trailer with a forklift. And
Fair.
you know that is, you can put the trailer wherever you want. You know, as good as your hubs are on the trailer, you can put the trailer wherever you want, because you'll have tires scraping and scrubbing in every which direction.
Well, then driving this thing with how intuitive it was to pick up on immediately. I mean, literally, you guys saw, I sat in that seat for all of 30 seconds before he's like, let's just go and start pushing all the buttons and all kinds of stuff. Like, I can imagine towing, you would think, is probably intimidating with, because at this point it's rear steer, which is technically front steer when you're backing up. But I imagine it all, like, it just starts to click.
Correct.
It's like towing regularly. Like, some people need the little knob that Ford now supplies.
Right.
Other people, like, if you think about it, you might screw up, but if you don't think about it, it's muscle memory, and you do it, like, there's no problem backing stuff up.
So that's kind of what we believe. The app is very, very friendly for that. You know, you'll put it in tight steer when you're backing up a trailer, and whatever you were doing normally with your steering wheel, now your trailer is going to be, you know, exponentially feeling that more, because your pivot point, your ball is obviously back here.
Right.
So now, usually to turn this point on the trailer, you have to turn 20 feet of truck. Now, on the other hand, all you have is the distance from this tire to here before you turn this hitch. So you now have 3 feet of truck that you got to turn, which turns right away. So you're instantly kicking out or in the trailer, depending on what direction you're headed. Start with an Arduino. This is kind of our platform to change all of our inputs and our outputs. The rest is our driving board. All of it is measured with the sensors that we have. You'll notice these billet arms.
So those arms right there that come down.
That's gonna locate where every axle is live at all times. We use the same technology for our airbags as well. If you wanna shoot that bag, it's a double bellow bag. The bags internally have both a height sensor and a pressure sensor, and that's talking back to the system via, just like your TPMS sensor would be.
Okay.
It's talking via frequency, so there's no wiring out of the bags and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
And then that is constantly feeding back to the system where you are in an exact height, because your height is dictated right by the bag. The second you start putting a sensor a little bit along one of the suspension arms, you start decreasing your resolution. You know, and the more resolution, so the more points you can get out of any particular amount of stroke is how more precise you can be on your height management.
Well, and then seeing how you've done that, and then being internal, that's cool, because we actually do have an issue here. We got WILDEST 450 here, and we actually have an issue with this height sensor, which is on this arm right here, but it's literally a piece of plastic screwed in. Zach has tightened it, but the bolt stripped out a little bit, and this collar was able to move back and forth, which when it moves this pivot point right here, which changes the height. So we had little issues where, like, it was reading wrong height because that collar was moving. So having something much more stout is obviously better.
And if you look at here, there's a disadvantage here that they got corrected in the front. You see where that collar is there?
Right.
So this arm has a point, you know, where it goes to, and the other point is on the axle. So amongst that arm, angle will be the same, but stroke will be minimized at that point, because you're not at the exact point of, so where would you get max stroke on that sensor? You would get it directly above the bag.
Right.
Now, if you come here to the front, they got it in just about the best place that they could put it. That's as far forward on the arm as they could do it. So you're gonna get much better accuracy in the front on this setup than you would in the rear.
Makes sense.
You know, and it's good that they did that, because the front is where you would want to be more accurate, because obviously that's where your steering is, and you want to keep your drag link and your panhard bar as bestly tamed as possible.
That's an understatement, yes.
Right. But then, you know, how about putting it in the bag, which is what we do.
Right.
Now you have absolute, you know, the distance the bag is from the top to the bottom, that's the height of your truck, because your bag is your spring, you know, it's an air spring, obviously. So having the exact height of the bag is, you know, it doesn't get any more precise than that.
So let's come down and look at this driveline setup here, because obviously you need to power 2 axles, whereas you have 1 drive shaft coming out of your front differential, and this is true 6-wheel drive, right? I mean, there is a front drive shaft. We have the rear drive shaft coming into here, which comes into
that SCS unit.
Yeah,
that SCS unit is nothing more than like a fancy transfer case. There's going to be 1 gear here, an idle gear here, and the other gear here. So this gear here is going into what would be your pinion on that first 14 bolt. That 14 bolt is now driving both of these with 2 axle shafts, and this same rotational gear is now, we'll go to the back side. You'll see the output of it back there.
Right.
That output then translates to the second 14 bolt, and then that will drive these rear axles.
Now, are these full-time 4-wheel Like they're always live, right?
Technically a little bit less than live because they have ARB air lockers from our app as well. Since it's part of another piece of the Air product, you would hit lock and lock, and that would hit your lockers individually if you wanted all four to evenly go at the same time.
Gotcha.
So, I mean, you can change an air locker for a limited slip or an open diff if you want, but right now we have air lockers just because we want to show as many outputs as possible with our air manifold. That's
awesome.
something I can show you underneath as well that you'd really appreciate.
Yeah.
So this is the air manifold. This is what's driving every single piece of air accessory on the truck. So it's going to be the airbags, going to be your ARB air lockers in the thing, also your train horn, provisions for just about everything. Okay. So we make blocks like this. This has like 10 outputs, obviously, because these trucks are bigger and they have just about every option. But we make blocks with 6 and 4 just for any other air ride kind of build. Now, is that your hydraulic setup? You'll see an electric hydraulic pump over there. Right. That's exactly what drives. I'll show you the valve block now in the back. Oh, yeah. You see the valve block? Yep. Okay. So that'll be the hydraulic valve block. Gotcha. So everything's running in right there. Correct. So that hydraulic valve block will pick left or right whenever you hit the app, and that's how that works. Awesome.
Absolutely insane. I mean, such a slick setup. Like, again, this is more of a mobile billboard, albeit, again, from my experience, the most functional 6x6 trucks out there. Not just flashy, sold for way too much money to a celebrity. These ones actually function. And I've seen it on Instagram. Everyone's like, oh, take it in the mud. Go mud with it. Which, number one, why would you? But number two, they do. Right. Yeah. Why wouldn't you? So it's one of those things. That's everybody's first instinct, is they see a big flashy truck and they're like, oh, my cousin Cleater, he would do that with the dago ding and to take it in the thing and to jump the thing and to do the thing. 100%. There's different trucks for different things. And when you get to a certain level, you spend money on play trucks and toys and off-road stuff. And then some people want a nice vehicle to tow it all with. There's different levels to the game. Yeah, we get that your grandpa's Ford Ranger that you probably tore up and like
better than Gravedigger at Monster.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Exactly. But again, like, some people don't build things for that purpose, and that's also okay. However, Manny's whole point of this thing was to not only prove the technology, develop the technology, show off the technology, but he's also proven all that stuff wrong. This thing tows like crazy. Like, he's towed some freaking monster stuff with it. I've seen it.
Whatever the factory tow rating is, we try to like keep up with. So this has a sticker for 44,000. So we tried to max this with whatever was on the back. The highest we got was to 42. It does just fine. Yeah. Obviously, we're geared for much more highway right now. We have a very, very low gear ratio because we drive a lot empty versus towing. So we don't want to be the guy on the highway going 60. Yeah. We like to brag about going 85, especially on bogger. The truck says that it can do X amount. We want to make sure that we can keep that X amount. We don't want to take that away from it.
Well, and then plus you're already starting with a medium duty chassis. Correct. So even if this took away some, you're still at, let's just say, what a standard, 3500 would be. Right. And which is more than most people are ever going to tow anyways.
Absolutely. I don't expect anybody to buy this and actually be towing, cross country and hot shotting max loads. You know? But if they did want to do that, I would be happy to know that nothing that we built would fail. You know what I mean? Well,
then speaking of cross country, you guys have driven these things all over. This is rare that they're on a trailer.
This is the only time that we've ever had them on trailer. We obviously redid all of the suspension like a refresh. It's disgusting right now because we've been driving around. But we literally finished like 3 hours before 3 hours after we were supposed to be at SEMA. So then we did like a mad 40-hour dash from Miami to Vegas. And it was going to be impossible in both trucks at the same time. So that's why we grabbed the trailer and now we're stuck with it. But we will be driving them back home as soon as we leave Phoenix. We will be, I have another buddy that'll meet us there, and one will drive the 450 and we'll drive both of these. Like, we really believe that the more miles we get and the more shit we break, the better it's gonna be.
Well, I mean, the most stuff that's broken on this thing has been factory stuff, right?
That's fine, but I mean, I've had my fair share of mistakes. I've had bad, axle seals and, having to pump gear oil every 4 hours to make sure that I don't leave the carrier empty. Right. But things like that we're happy about. We've had the middle axle start walking a little bit on the left, so now we have needle valves to make sure that the middle axle stays shut. Things like that we want to guarantee that there's no issue with. Another huge thing is like shitty roads. Shitty roads affect the air ride system at all. Like big. So you gotta make sure that we have like a setting in which after X amount of time, it's not monitoring the height at all times, because you don't need to be correcting the road. You need to correct the ride. And that's like a huge thing that people don't understand. Like, OE manufacturers have that figured out. When you get into a Mercedes or anything that comes with OEM air ride, the air ride is not adjusting the road. The air ride is adjusting the ride. All current air management systems that are somewhat smart and are height based are constantly adjusting the height. It's not the right platform at all. It's a mixture of height and pressure, and that's how you can deduct, what it is exactly that's happening in the road and what it is that the driver's feeling, and that's what you're supposed to be correcting.
Now, here's a good view of the turning radius outside of the cab. Look at that. On, you know, an industrial sized street right here, no problem, make a full U-turn with 6-wheel drive. Obviously, if you did this platform on a 4-wheel drive truck or a 4-wheeled truck double axle, it'd be even quicker. Look at that, right up to the curb. Easy day. Easy day. That's how you park right there. That's how you park with style. Papa Rhino's joining the club. Oh, Papa Rhino's showing he can also make the turn. All right, guys, this is what it's all about right here. We got the dual crab walking going on. Fern, we got to knock you run over, buddy. We got to knock you run over, Fern. Stand strong, Fern. Stand strong.
I'm insured, bro.
Dude, they just got like no problem whipping these things around. Super fast, sideways. Insane, insane. So again, Solomon's locked in right now because Manny's got the controller. So basically Solomon's locked in this mode, but if you know how to drive it, you know how to make it work in your advantage, but it takes a little maneuvering here. But look at how freaking crazy and tight the turning radius is for being such a big truck. No problemo. These guys are ballsy. They got a lot of confidence in knowing where that tail's swinging around. All right, so we can say who this truck's going to when it's done, right?
Yeah.
All right, so who bought the truck?
Rick Ross is keeping this truck, so you'll see it, and if you go on his page, you'll see him ripping some donuts on the side of his house.
Whatever you want to do. Step back, step back.
It does good donuts.
Do it?
Oh yeah, go in the grass though.
Get in the little
Go
flat
like
area.
over.
There you go. I mean, of all the people, Rick Ross. I mean, you couldn't have found somebody better to buy this thing, man. That's awesome.
That one got a couple different people interested. I don't want to say anything until anything's promised, but
Right.
you know, definitely they are showpieces. They are pieces to be had. So
Awesome. So again, obviously you guys saw the back seat. So once Manny gets everything finalized and makes it the like actual production piece that it's going to be with the controller and everything built in, that's when this truck will be leaving to Rick Ross, and then probably this one is something other. I mean, what's next, Manny? What do we do next, buddy?
what's next is take over the world, brother.
Okay, I'm for it. All we got to do right there is you just scan that QR code and you take over the world.
That's it. World domination.
There we go. Hold on. We'll pause right there. Everybody scan that. I don't know where that takes you. Hopefully it doesn't steal your credit card information, but if it does, well, these things aren't cheap. So, you know, we got
We gotta start collecting the money now. So
Right? All right, guys, we got them going nose to nose here. They got a lot of faith in each other. They got a lot of hours driving these things together. Woo! I'm gonna shoot the gap right here. Shoot the gap. Woo! So sick. So sick. What do you think, Fernando? What do you think, buddy?
It's pretty gnarly,
Boom.
man. It's
Right?
gnarly.
Now, while obviously these trucks are freaking insane by themselves, having a pair of these running around town just makes it so much cooler. Oh, and then we got this guy that thinks they're gonna be able to squeeze in behind here. Not really gonna happen. Alley is closed. The alley is closed. Well, it's dark outside, so we can no longer film with the GoPros because, well, GoPros suck. All right, Manny, what we got here, buddy?
we got a bunch of merch. We got some girl merch because apparently I'm a girl. We got some Made in America merch, which is the best type of merch, honestly. We got what Miami needs. This is the definition of what Miami needs right here. There's always gonna be somebody at the diesel pump.
Quality you can trust. You guys go to whatever the website work for.
You don't even know what the website
Work for it.
apparel.com.
Apparel.com.
Oh, that was not forced at all. Nailed it.
If you already on work for it using whatever code thing is on maybe on the screen, you can get stickers and this keychain and other stickers.
We're gonna
This is
have
the best merch plug I've ever had.
we're gonna have a Poppy's banana. You're gonna catch this T-shirt coming out soon.
Oh, geez. All right, we're having a collaboration with us. So, again, Manny, where can everybody find you? Where can they find the trucks? Let's say Snoop Dogg's watching this video right now and he wants to buy the Ram.
All right, Snoop, get on IG at Poppy's Garage, or just go to our website, poppysgarage.com. YouTube at Poppy's Garage, TikTok at Poppy's Garage. Pretty straightforward and cookie cutter. Everything at
Now, do I
Poppy's
plug you before or after you give me the truck?
Oh,
I mean, you could plug me now.
yeah, plug him now. That forces him to
Hey,
give you.
I don't plug on credit though. No.
On credit.
Go. All right. What's your YouTube channel?
If you guys like old Ford trucks, check out Ford Era. Nothing but old Ford truck stuff. So like 1961 to 2003, all kinds of Ford truck stuff. And hopefully Ryan will get an old Ford truck like he kind of mentioned.
All right, so a huge thank you to these guys. I mean, they are all the way from Florida. You guys know Ryan's scared of getting on planes. So like fact that like I actually finally get to see these trucks. I'm glad they actually drove out here. I mean, I know they were on like, they're kind of on a tour across the country right now. Yeah, pretty much. And made it all the way out here to our little lovely shop here in the middle of nowhere. And yeah, allowed us to film them. These things are freaking rad. Make sure you guys go check them out on Instagram, on YouTube, on all the channels. It's been a long day already.
Yeah, WorkForItApparel.com, baby.
Hey, look, we got it down now. So with that, we're gonna wrap up as always. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're not subscribed already, please click the subscribe button now. That you do not miss out on any future content. And don't forget to give this video a like, aka a thumbs up. Don't forget to check out WorkForItApparel.com. Because if there's anything you want in this life, you gotta be willing to work for it. You guys are the best. Let's see if they know how to end my videos. There's no way they know how to end my videos.
No way, Jose. How we ending your videos?
Awkward.
Okay, cool. I'm down with this.
So what's the end of it? What do you call the end of a video?
End of a video.
No, there's a name for it. Starts with O.
Outro.
Okay. So if we wanted to like get that going, what would we do?
Play some music here.
Roll the outro.
There we go.
Damn.